It's a difficult conversation about whether or not this would be an upset at all. You know, XERXIA have just been looking phenomenal. Cruz and Fox taking a lot of damage early on there in A main. And of course, with both teams playing the same compositions that they ran yesterday, the teams have had an opportunity to prep. Maybe they weren't sure that this was going to be in the map pool because it was neither team's pick, but
sure,
they must have had some decent idea, with both teams being very comfortable on this map.
I did like the way that XERXIA was playing this map the other day.
Turret to take contact here with Yampi, push up close, Frenzy in hand.
I mean, this could be critical though. I mean, I've seen numerous times this Jet player, and Yampi's dashes, they haven't been great in past times. He's going to try and swing deep into it. I have no idea what the disengage plan was there, but maybe just anticipating that it was just a single player lurking.
Yeah, it's good awareness from XERXIA. I mean, they run the same kind of trap play themselves. They know if there's a turret on that angle, there's a possibility of somebody holding close with a Frenzy or a short. And here's a flash re-clear, grabbing that information in A. They don't know where they are right now. I mean, if B main is clear with a recon dart, now they've got a decent idea that this is a catwalk push, but XERXIA, they're really ticking the time down right now.
They truly are. Link, the pressure's on. Paranoia has to play up close around this corner. He still gets the one, but the trade eventually there. Now Scream back to the site, trying to anchor with the support of his team. A quick little tap of the heads, and he's finding it. Spamming them through the walls. Left down to the 1v1. He is weak. There's the fist bump to stand up and scream at the opposition.
Double Marshall here. It's not quite the double op, but it'll do for round 2. And both of these teams are incredibly comfortable on this map. I think you are looking for XERXIA to be able to rack up those round wins on their defense side.
Yeah.
So I think Team Liquid have some level of psychological advantage, you could argue, by starting out here on, you know, forcing XERXIA onto the attack.
Yeah.
It's not that they've looked bad there, it's just that the composition trends itself more defensively focused, I think.
Yeah, compounds the strengths a bit more. Dash across, that's going to be the dart also to try and supplement it. Shock darts in play, and that is maximum damage being done. The lane push.
Team Liquid like to hold positions that are slightly further forward.
Sure.
And one of the things that Optic was really struggling with against XERXIA when they were defending was re-clearing areas of the map, which we've already seen from Liquid.
And this is a deep push from Yampi. All the way around, just wants to hold that long sight line and give his team information of any players that might be lurking. Maybe getting a pick, you know, it's difficult to tell here. He's playing on the different elevation, and for XERXIA, bit of spam into mid.
I think they'll have a pretty good idea of whereabouts Yampi is playing, just because that recon dart was able to have the full 3 pulses in mid. And they've smoked it off. Cruz is kind of holding a position right now where his job is just to wait for the rest of his team. This looks like it's going to be a prod into catwalk, and then maybe a return back to a B split?
It seems that way, yeah.
Maybe they're just going to commit to the cat push now, actually.
Well, I think they want to clear utility and pull rotations, right?
Yeah, but they're still kind of going for that 1-3-1 default, and there's only 40 seconds left. Either site they hit, there's going to be a player miles away that has to find value on alert. And here we go, they're going for a B split, which leaves Fox miles away from the action.
All in mid, door's going to get bursted down, and B main is in control right now. What a lovely nade. Disrupts the push. The player's still coming through. Now to Nanoswarm, 20 seconds remaining, and it is critical that you win out these fights. Zooms across from the corner, and Navira's still able to get the 2, and what a flash. Disruption, not even letting them get down onto the site, the XERXIA players. It is so scrappy, but they are just barely clawing it out.
These are the swings from Sushi Boys, though, that are making the difference. He's driving a Ferrari out there. Just, whoom, he's around the corner.
My Vandal doesn't do that.
I mean, I don't sprint that quick. I'm scared when I take these fights, and I'm playing against, you know, bad players in ranked. He's playing against some real elite tier players from EMEA right now, and there is disrespect coming out from XERXIA. They know they're good enough to get away with stuff like that.
Looking to prove it here. Stealing this. 1v2.
I haven't done a ton of it this year. It feels like that hasn't really been a big meta-relying thing that they've been leaning on.
Got to be the jiggle peak, right? You got to be aware of this one. Navira holding it down.
The turret, though, is so good because if you swing to break this turret, which you have to at some point, Navira's on it. It's going to block bullets.
Honestly, yeah, it's a bit of a bodyguard in a weird sense. Door gets shut.
And Yampi, in the meantime, is in wine. But it certainly looks like Navira's operator is going to be the one doing the business.
Knife doesn't, I believe, tag too much. Obviously, Scream sent that from across the map, looking for information. And yep, Surf tries to take the duel.
Now, Drone is currently coming in through Catwalk, and Fox doesn't see anything. So they're expecting with that pick over towards B, they can maneuver and manipulate.
They're going to go for the hard pivot here. I mean, 50 seconds remaining. Up Cat, they have not cleared through main.
Well, they're not even going to send anybody through main. And honestly, it's a bit of an awkward position for Yampy to play with an AWP. If he just gets smoked off there, he would much rather have a rifle. But they still are just controlling a good amount of the map. Is Scary going to go for something
Paranoia.
wild here?
Right into the corner. Link just needs to try and survive here. The dart against the back. Does get taken out. Scream just trying to survive and anchor it down. And they do have that crossfire, the spray. Oh!
They're bringing it out here, finding some good success early on. You're always worried the first time it comes out because that's the most vulnerable portion when your economy is at its lowest. The more rounds you can win here, the more you're going to be able to rebuy if it does go wrong.
And XERXIA, they're forced now in a situation where they're thinking, well, I mean, it would be one thing if we were only dealing with one op player, but having to spot out where both of them are playing.
Yeah.
And look at that, a little pop flash play off the alarm bot, catching onto one of the players, but Scream doesn't really tag too many players. He was just hunting for one of the picks, and that is the collapse.
That's gorgeous. Sure, it's an anti-eco, but Navera's going to take those. Lockdown ready to go. And Scream playing a bit of the aim lab shoot around, I think, over there. Does end up going down, though, and this is going to be a little bit of pressure here onto Navera. Has to dodge the dart.
So deep here.
Soulcast came over to actually help Navera, and that opened Scary up to punish him.
Fox has picked up a Spectre, but he's just running right into the line of sight of Navera. Was looking a little bit iffy against the half by here. Smoke, okay, Nano Swarm, TP off to the side.
Oh, he spotted him.
To the back of the side, Navera forced to try and lock this one down. He's not really favoured here against the Spectre. Perfect movement though, quick little tap around the corner, the reloads in play.
But they were at least getting those opening kills with a lot of success.
I believe the desk was talking about that as well. And Scream had 9 first bloods.
9, he had as many first bloods as the whole of XERXIA did, and XERXIA still won.
And this is the problem.
But they can't be losing Surf at the beginning of these rounds so early.
How do you deal with these setups, man?
I mean, smokes, you know, that's where playing Cypher is really useful because you're able to use the cages to take B main control.
Sure.
Sova utility, but I mean, that's a good one
way
too.
to do it. Sure. Bit of disrespect being shown there. Sushi Boy's just right around the corner. Now the lockdown being used in a very deep angle.
Trying to get it in a position where it's much more difficult to wall bang.
The nade's going to be able to find it there.
Just on the edge as well. That frag grenade does less damage the further away it is from the center, but just manages to take out the lockdown here.
Yeah, it's just been kind of staggered out, and now it looks like Liquid are looking for that retake. No command online. So we're going to be getting
Flank from
pulses
Crew
here of that suppression, and this flank is critical.
And the alarm bot is not active because Navera is down.
Crew's moving around the corner. This could be massive. The spray down. He quickly resets it. Needs to find a second, but Scream will shut it down anyway. The right click of the knives. Yampy's in backside. Operator. Not enough to try and bring him down, but luckily the teammates
Get out the answer too.
Again, Navera holding it this time, jumping right around the corner.
That's the confidence.
Yep. Has to respect it, and they're already in. Dashing over the top. Soulcast, he's pulling out his utility. Did not expect that kind of speed, that kind of aggression. Quick little res off the back of it. 2 players left standing for Liquid, and this was against the half by.
It's all about the pace for XERXIA. What an amazing performance by Surf. Immediately turning his KD around as well. And not just that, but winning his team around. What a decision from the coaching staff of XERXIA there.
I mean, what they were planning, we might not have even seen. They may have just got into that with the half by saying, okay, we'll go for a quick hit. We'll just disrespect the op on this angle. We'll see what we can get done.
But I definitely think the timing there that Surf is going for is based on what they're reading, because Liquid fall back into the protocol of Soulcast is going to throw Sova utility.
The shock darts.
When Navera drops back. And that means that there is a timing when Bulldog in there too. This is where you can really apply the hurt. Because this is an expensive defensive setup.
Yeah, if you're XERXIA. If you take a couple of these guns out of hands of Liquid, now you're seeing the double-edged sword of this double operator strategy. It really does hurt the bank when things go a bit wrong.
But Surf has actually saved an op from the prior round, and that kind of naturally slows things down.
Dude, look at this. Back-to-back almost. Scream does not have the alarm bot to play a timing off of. He is essentially isolated. He's on an island around this corner.
Can't really go for a flash peek either because he's worried he might get caught with the utility in his hands. He really is here just watching for somebody to overstep.
Hoping he doesn't get cleared, I think.
They know that Yampi's pushed up, thanks to the alarm bot. And they get good information here for Scream. Now he can go for a flash peek.
Yep, flash comes through. The coverage is almost there. Not too many players playing that anti-flash situation. Shock dart sent in.
How did he not die to the shot?
I don't know. He is so low.
They get away with murder a little bit there. And Scream uses his knife, actually, in B main, and so that's going to give a timing for Sushi Boys to start taking space. There is only 30 seconds left right now.
30 seconds left.
It could not be a more different tempo compared to round 7.
What did I go for here? It's got to be the B-split. Players are set up for it. They're not really in position to do much else. Running all the way through. That's Link taking out Fox. 2 of the players in the back of the site. Scream just needs to try and stay alive. Not much time at all available to them, but again, Sushi Boys is good for it. Surf covers the back of it, and the plan will go down.
These picks are extraordinary. Nivera trying to retake with an operator right now. Got the lockdown too, but
lockdown.
Do you really want to invest this?
I don't know,
Is
man.
there a rifle for him to take? And look at the aggressive position. I love this post plant. Really smart play by XERXIA. If you go for the lockdown right now, they're going to push you. And instead, it's Nivera that goes aggressive and they trade it out. It's a 1v1.
It's the 1v1. Paranoia. He still expects it to be up late.
And this would have to be some kind of thrifty round coming out from Liquid here.
Oh, Yampi's been spotted already. Spammed out. Has to commit. Cloud burst just to try and hide.
And all of a sudden, Team Liquid's vice-like grip on this map has shrunk away.
How many rounds did we say, Josh? 4? Is that what we agreed on?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. XERXIA are very likely to get up to 4 rounds right now.
Yeah.
And Team Liquid, are they going to have the economy to be able to reinvest back into the double operator? Can they even get back into the swing of things like that? This is why it didn't end up being a meta-defining strat, is that, you know, you only make a couple mistakes and suddenly you're being punished economically for it. We've seen the Bucky have success today already, Bren. Surely not once more.
Tries to timing the drone! The coverage not there. Still, the trade. I want to make it that much more precarious. What a shot! Flick from Yampy, and now a half buy that we otherwise would have been ignoring is just a bit much more dangerous, I think. Liquid have showcased just the other day on this map why you can't really underestimate them.
They have a player advantage. They have a lockdown they could use. Bad weaponry, of course, but I think that was Nivera actually jumping to get into position for the lockdown.
And look at this aggressive reposition from XERXIA. They don't want to let them set up and get comfortable.
They've been playing aggressive post plan so bad. Nivera and Yampy, they get that double operator back online.
This time swapping up the positions of the players and their setup, so Yampy is deep in B main. Now, sometimes on Ascent, with KO being so popular, the risk is obviously your jet player push that deep. They might get knifed and suppressed, they can't dash out to safety. Obviously not a problem for him. XERXIA's comp doesn't really contain that. So he's got a bit more freedom, I think, at the back of his mind when he's playing in that deep angle, and he gets a lot of information forward him. Solkas just with a bit of a jiggle peek. He, I believe, spots the head of one of the players, so he knows that they're just trying to work their way down mid now.
Smoke coming down towards Cat. Fox has been doing this a couple of times. Yeah, some chunky damage from that. But look at how XERXIA are throwing misdirections in. They put the Omen smoke down, they put the drone out through Cat, and Fox is going to try and clear all of this Killjoy utility, but Fox is not actually leading the play. So many teams follow their recon darts, their drones. That's not the case for XERXIA. You have to be much more intelligent making reads on them.
And they're actually going to be backing away. It's almost like they've got the read on this B main hold.
They do. That's so smart. Because Liquid didn't take the bait either. But now they're set up. It's another late round hit.
I know. 20 seconds left. Nivera has lockdown. If Nivera survives this, are we going to see again an aggressive post plan if they can even get in? A lot of pressure on Link, but the Paranoia connects. Counter Paranoia, Nivera is able to support. Straight from heaven. Doesn't really know which target to try and connect onto, but finds one anyway. The plant will come through. The players have already fallen, and now the wall across. No command. All the players suppressed now as they try and hold this one, the lockdown included, and XERXIA are not in situations, they're not in position to play aggressively. Cruz is going for an absolute Hail Mary, spamming through the smoke, he gets one of them.
What on earth am I watching? Yampy with one.
What?
Cruz gets 2 before he falls?
You gotta be joking. Scary just has to try and hold this one down, but it's still the 1v3. He's found 2 of the heads. Quick little shooting, TPs. He opens himself up, it's the 1v1. Him versus Scream, and he's got the information. 8 bullets. The fuse now being stuck. Scream, he tries.
Beautifully. What a play by XERXIA. And here comes a little fast play shark attack coming out from Liquid.
Yep.
They're looking to counter-attack immediately.
You got the knives online, they want to send in the dart, send in a flash. The knife as well, deep. But XERXIA just absorb all that utility, all the aggression.
Brent, they're used to playing against
The
paper.
paranoia! It's a counterplay towards it. The Yampi does get the one for it, but eventually traded.
You will not.
It's a nice idea because Cruz already has the res online too. And you've taken down the biggest threat, Yampi with knives. What else does Team Liquid really have? I guess if you run the clock down massively, then the Hunter's Fury could be a problem. Don't necessarily want to underrate Scream with a Sheriff either, but,
No, absolutely not.
but it is such a bad buy by Liquid. Yeah.
Not favoured in this situation. On top of the wall as well. Lovely angle that it provides him, but still Navira causing some havoc, looking for a couple of taps on the cranium, and he's finding them! And now, this is quite dangerous for them still. It's a 1v2. Do have the better guns unless Link can scavenge up a rifle somewhere.
The smoke player in a 1vx clutch
There's
again.
paranoia.
But he doesn't have a gun. He's going to be able to retrieve this rifle.
There's one.
Oh, and he...
Doesn't want to open himself up to the angle, I think. That's why he didn't take it.
I mean, he would definitely be able to
Oh,
grab
there
it.
we go. Oh, yeah, he would have been. I don't know what he's doing.
He's just waiting, setting himself up. He's got good information, actually, on where they're playing from. It's a headshot through the wall as well. Doesn't do too much damage to Scary, though. That is a solid brick wall, and that's what the defense looks like right now from XERXIA in the post plan.
5 bullets. Link needs this to try and stop this momentum that XERXIA are accruing right now. Could get the one, but he has to reload, and now the dart. The timing is amazing. Fox just jiggling around the corner. Quick little tip-tap of his toes, and little moments of individualism with the Sheriffs.
Could have changed
Almost
the entire
turned
tide
it.
of this map. Double operator once again, as Yampi and Navera set themselves up. Not in B main, they've shifted things around. One in mid, one playing catwalk. Now, the cat and tree area, though, has never been face-checked. It's always Fox with a drone early. So I don't really know what kind of value Navera's going to get out of this. Yampi, though, has got players staring him down from all over the place. And he just doesn't see Scary. Who expects somebody on that angle? It's sick.
Yeah, disgusting stuff, man. Different elevation a little bit, and he can poke his head all the way up there. You can see so deep into the site.
Drone coming out into B main. As soon as they break this drone, tempo gonna be increased by XERXIA.
Yeah. That's going to be the knife to try and cancel it out, but Scream, he tries to hold down the angle, I believe, with the operator
What does it matter?
in his palms.
Surf doesn't need the knives, and they've just baited them again.
Yep.
They've pulled all of those rotates over to B, activated the defensive protocols for Liquid as they sink back into more defensive positions.
They're running straight through.
And now it's all on Navera.
All the pressure on this guy. The Hunter's Fury to try and cut them up. It does actually connect onto Surf. He gets to run through the Nano Swarm. 20 seconds remaining, and it's bought time for Liquid to try and play this one still. Lockdown, drop down. They have to play aggressively here for Liquid. They have to regain that tree control, but they're swinging across heaven, and Scary shuts down his counterpart. The controller play not able to do it. So Gas not being watched. Let's remove it. The time is ticking, and the post plants are being set up right now from XERXIA to try and carry forwards that 7th round into the next half. The spam.
Was that underneath the wall as well? I don't know about that one, but the XERXIA players are
XERXIA look like they are primed currently to exit their group in that top position,
in
right into the
first
playoffs,
place. I mean, that's astounding for a group that has Optic in it, Crew in it, Liquid in it, and it would be XERXIA taking the top seed. Of course, they haven't done it yet. This pistol round will give them potentially a big bonus or allow Liquid to tie things up. They're, of course, using this Sage on defense. And one of the things that they were allowed to get away with last time was that Cruz would get knifed and there was no follow-up. Well, Liquid are making sure that they don't make that same mistake. Knife comes through, they know that Cruz can't slow, can't wall, and they're into the site immediately.
Yeah, capitalizing off the fact that he couldn't use any of his abilities, any of his utility. And Scream has this flash set up as well. These post plants are quite difficult to break against the pistol.
And it looks like they're going to flash for Yampi to take a peek. Up he goes, doesn't see anything. How good is XERXIA on the retake?
They have a dart. The Cloudburst on Surf as well, and a dash. Here we go. Here comes the play setup. Paranoia as well, and it is orchestrated. Straight through, right round the corner. Surf's already found 2 for them, and they are down and out. What a retake rapid.
That's incredible by XERXIA. They all got set up, knew exactly with that like deep placement. And I think this tournament, maybe even this result, could be the kind of thing that significantly changes attitudes there. You've got to remember that XERXIA are not pulling talent from all of APAC. They're pulling talent just from Thailand.
Yeah.
This is a just Thai team, and they are still being able to put up such incredible results. They don't have an enormous player base to pull from, and they're creating this level of team. It's spectacular.
I love it. Sets the stage, honestly, for the future as we head deeper into 2022, but enough about that, the here and now. Obviously, an eco round here for Team Liquid.
Yeah. And Bren, one of the things I want to... Oh, hello.
This is why I don't... Wow. Listen, I'm telling you, against Liquid, you never know.
No, you never know.
Rip a couple of heads off. Surf needs to be careful of this.
Cruz had a bunch of first deaths when they played against Optic, yeah. I think he went 1-5 or something in first kills to first deaths. Wasn't looking great for him.
While all this is going on, Liquid's just trying to do a bit of damage, I think, on the other side of things, but Liquid have managed to get this spike down, and Yampy pushed forwards in this deep position round. Logs has got the crossfire set up. There is no trade available for him, and he's still there, ready and waiting. One player left standing, the Team Liquid eco round special man, and it's a triple. Money in the back pocket. You feel a little bit safer now, despite the fact being 2 rounds down.
So, in general here, I mean, Crew have an incredibly weak buy, only classic, so I'm gonna take the opportunity, Bren.
Sure.
but
I won't
hey,
interrupt you. I'll let you
hey,
listen.
If it gets dangerous, it gets dangerous.
If you want to set some storylines up, set the stage.
Well, I actually just wanted to talk a little bit about Cruz, right? Because
sure.
The stats did look awful from their Ascent game when they played it last. He was 1-5, you know, really dying first quite a lot. But he did spend a lot of the defensive half playing quite passive rotate positions. And he has a slow orb, you'll see it at some point here, I'm sure, that slows from spawn all the way to tree. And it was ruining Optic. And so that's just something, if you're watching this game, to keep in mind. Have a look at Cruz as he makes those rotate plays, because it was so difficult for Optic to deal with. And Liquid have found themselves a completely free A site here. This should just be them farming up their ultimates. Nevera already with a lockdown. Yeah.
XERXIA not going to be blessed with the gamble stack. Hunting for a couple of picks maybe just to do some damage.
Exactly.
Ready and waiting.
Yeah. There might be a play going for it here, perhaps. XERXIA are taking aggressive A control. They're throwing this slow early on as well, which indicates where Cruz is playing, gives them the information. So if Scream comes back and gets his knife online, they've got a pretty good idea of how to tag Cruz. Cruz is probably going to throw a slow A main and then rotate to catwalk.
Quick little flash over the corner. Trying to bait some sort of swing actually as well as they tap the orb. Now the lockdown that I mentioned earlier is going to be used here for Liquid to try and get deep in.
I think all of this would have been better coordinated after they landed a knife on Cruz and had that back online.
One player detained.
Yampy is so deep.
Not even going for it. Straight all the way into heaven. And he's just swinging straight into the player.
Really well executed. I mean, Yampy is just so confident getting into those positions. I was worried about them coming through all of that Sage utility. Slow, wall. XERXIA couldn't really do anything. We've seen Scary in a 1v3 before. He won an incredibly pivotal round. And now he has a teammate.
That's a lovely first pick, though.
Not again.
Try and set things up.
Not
Quick little
again.
tap on the head. Scream. He does put him down. All right.
To any of those ult orbs.
That's the big one, isn't it? The knives.
Here's an early knife.
Beautiful here, but
Catches on to Cruz. No slow orb, no wall.
just forced to hold close here. He has the Bucky in hand, but are they really going to disrespect this by just swinging into it? Look, the smoke plays inside of it. Cross being played, he doesn't actually walk in, so Yampy just goes and clears wine. Wants to hold that crossfire.
And they're again grouping up in A main. Team Liquid putting heavy emphasis on A main control and then bursting out of it. It seems like a weird strategy with Nevera opping, but he's still going to be able to get good value from A main, assuming the rest of his team can do well.
And they're just holding for it. They realized that there was a possibility of it. A quick swing through Yampy, just taking two of the heads off, and with the lighter by. Yeah, not enough in their hands really to be able to turn the tide of this one. XERXIA
Spike planted.
just left staring at the possibility here. I mean, Scary has not really been spotted.
he's still just hanging out underneath there. He's got a stinger.
I mean, he could do some damage. Yeah, okay. Sometimes a bit of RNG, but the reload gets off, and they're just going to try and spam him out here.
So much pressure being applied, and Sushi Boys thinks, okay, maybe this is my time.
Yes. It's like...
He's got, you know, he's got that killer personality, man.
Sure.
So they've swapped up the defensive setup right now. The Sage goes over to B main, playing alongside Surf, and the Killjoy locking down A, the site that Liquid have been preferring to go. So all of the cards here resting with Sushi Boys, assuming that the game plan would be the same from Liquid, but it does look a bit different right now. Looks like they're exploring mid, some kind of mid to B ideas.
Smoke cuts it up into mid. Yampy with the knives, just walking. Door not closed. Surf. Obviously, he's actually deep in B main there, so his back isn't exposed to market. Cruz gets spotted though. And now, oh, bit of a whiff, I think, possibly. No, not quite. That was a slow walk coming through to try and push back this attempt. Still, Yampy is deep and in. It's up to Cruz. What is that? Deep into logs. He's going to be cleared out eventually by the utility. The Nanoswarm dropped down, and Yampy wants to try and find this player who is anchoring. But Scary has been able to do some significant damage in the past.
There's another flash.
Throughout this series, he has been fully supported, and with that flash, yeah, nothing he could really do.
Gorgeous play openers for Liquid again and again. XERXIA need to shut him down.
Deep paranoia as well. Another half buy for XERXIA. Cruz tries to play inside of the smoke. Does get the one, but quick little spam through means that Liquid are secure, knowing that they have that big player advantage.
And Liquid have been pretty solid on these anti-ecos. It hasn't really felt like XERXIA have the same punch, the same danger that Liquid have on the other side.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
And that makes a big deal.
One of the things that did set apart a lot of the minor region teams at Champs last year was having those little plays cooked up when they were on an eco, the bonus, whatever the half buy.
Sure. And honestly, I think that XERXIA have demonstrated those at Massive so far. He's just 9 and 16, hasn't really been able to have any impact. They're not hitting his sight.
And now you're looking at one of the most important rounds here for XERXIA. The weapons in their hands, they spend it all. They have to win out this round clean, otherwise their economy is not going to be looking good.
They've layered up the Operator with the Sage. So now Cruz, they threw the same kind of utility in A main. And so Liquid might think, all right, let's return to A main, do a little A burst. But Surf is waiting there with the Operator, so we'll see what Yampy's up to down mid. Jet down mid, such a classic combo for Yampy. Loves to go there. Hasn't broken the alarm bot this time, though, so really not threatening a mid to B push. And this round, this is on Surf's shoulders.
Surf is holding A main.
The young blood for XERXIA.
Up in hand, and that is a... the wall's going to get off without getting broken here, but they are all piling into Surf now, and they are surely going to clear this one. Release something, no. Just a quick little crouch peek. Yampy's removed instantly.
It's a great adjustment by Surf. They were contact re-clearing A main. They weren't using utility, so that's the perfect place to put your op.
Now a flash setup. He dodges it right around the corner. Needs to find a bit more value though right now. Lit up like a Christmas tree as that recon dart's going to be finding him. And the knife. They do push back. That ult that came through as Link was just trying to, again, create a bit of chaos, but now we've got 20 seconds left standing in the round. And Liquid, well, deciding to just rotate into mid with the positioning he's got. Again, with the Operator, the knife close. Not sure if that tagged onto the targets he was looking for. Flash as well for them to be able to take A main. And look how deep Surf is. Cuts right across mid, and with the spike leaning over towards B as well.
The recon dart just landed on Fox. He was walking around carrying it within Sushi Boys. What is that peak?
What was the trigger for that? What if there was multiple players facing him?
It may have been off turret contact, but I don't think it was. He just went for it. And it has been working for Sushi Boys on this map.
Oh my goodness.
He nearly died to the shock dart as well.
Lucky got the heal, man.
Just got the heal off in time.
And this rotation here, it's a pivot all the way through their own spawn. So Surf is just cutting up mid, making sure that he catches anybody who was trying to rotate from mid, but he's not going to find any of these players.
And Brent, like I said before, Liquid coming into this tournament had the worst conversion when they lose a player first. They'd love to be able to get up to match point here. Playoff point, if you like.
Sage Wall was amazing as well, by the way. Cruz lays us down, about 40 seconds left into the round, and now they immediately know. There's not enough time for Team Liquid to try and do something else.
Fox would love to be in a position here to use his Hunter's Fury, but he's just hard anchoring with the Odin.
Dash through, right through, has to deal with that recon dart. Let's take out an Nano Swarm, but now needs to try and survive. The double swing is good, but Fox is better. Right around the corner, 3 kills. Dropping right down, Scream has to do a bit of damage. Surf is getting funny with it.
Liquid with fear in their hearts, unable to commit to the A push, and now they're turning their tempo up. They want to get to 12 right here, right now.
And to give some complete information, there's a player at the back of Jenny. Team Liquid trying to at least grab this round by the horns, but it's not enough. That's actually Liquid's.
I mean, they took one a little bit further.
Yeah. Surf does get spotted here by the knife, but Scary's just watching. Got another player backing him, of course. Sushi Boy's just watching. He's back with the spam through tiles, getting that first pick. And again, Josh, just that stat that you were listing off, echoing in my mind. The conversion rate for Team Liquid when they lose that player initially, it's not good.
Think about how many first kills they got on map 2. Almost twice as many first kills as XERXIA, and they still lost the map. If you're not getting those first kills, is that the way that Liquid end up losing it? They're still at 11-11 right now. It is still anybody's game. It's anybody's spot in the playoffs. Those knockouts are calling. Both teams looking to replicate or even build on their success that they had at Champions.
And Liquid look like they're getting primed now for a little pop play. Straight into it. The knife actually connects onto Sushi Boys. The setup though, pop the Nano Swarms in time.
But with Yampy down, there's nobody to actually go and make that space, and it's up to Scream.
It's up to Scream. He has to run in. He's found the pick, but eventually traded.
30 seconds left.
TP into the smoke. The crossfire is there. Link is in a ton of hurt right now, but the players, what a swing from the Vera, operator in hand. Aims for the head. Hits the mark once more. Now the spam, trying to punish these players around the Jenny area. 15 seconds left. Team Liquid, they got to get this spike down.
Sorkas is so weak, but he's not quite going to get punished for that. He had the spike down jumping into Odin wallbang spam. Nivera's operator takes a shot, misses one.
He's playing from Jenny with it.
Yeah, he was trying to place the Nano Swarm there to stop them coming through door. And now, I mean, they're scattering. They don't know where to hold. These defensive positions are all over the place, but it's another good Nano Swarm actually by Nivera!
He's back through the wall. Nivera has to hold this down. The crossfire Soulcast is so weak though, and the players cannot stand up to it.
These retakes are really working by XERXIA. This is how they started things off on the pistol. And this is how they take it a match point as well.
Fashion.
Minor region, because
yeah.
they made quarterfinals. 2 of their teams made quarterfinals at Champions. Now you've got another team on the precipice of repeating that performance at Masters Reykjavík. And this is only the 2nd-seeded team from that region.
Yeah, we haven't even seen VaporX yet. God almighty. And Cruz has shifted the setup. Normally playing towards A, this time anticipates a bit of mid-aggression, and the pressure is on. The fear, the theme of this entire event that we keep showing you. It's all on the line.
And Liquid can't let the pressure get to them here. Yampy with a bit of a tag, looking to take some space in mid, and they've walled it off away from him. Looking to see if there's anybody posted up to punish him, and when he figures there isn't, going to try and break the sage wall perhaps.
Spamming it alone, but he is worried, I think. Still Surf tagged up. That is a slow orb as well. Paranoia.
Where's the punish?
It's comboed up. Where is the punish? He swings round. Scream has to do a bit of running and cutting right into him, but they do find the pickoffs. That's what they were finding, what they were hoping for. Scary TPs into the backside of Paranoia is good.
Scream dodges it.
The crossfire is there. Sidestep the dodge, as you were saying, Josh. Sushi Boy's left alive, and this is all on him to try and deny Team Liquid bringing it into that overtime scenario.
Well, we have seen some ridiculous clutches in this series so far, but it just feels like one too many here for XERXIA. Sushi Boys has the lockdown, but there's a player in B main. He'll never anticipate. And Team Liquid, they are not ready to give up just yet.
If Liquid lose. But we'll see. Right now, they are using everything at their disposal to try and take away the map win here. Go out of their group in that top seed, in that top position.
One of the big strengths, I think, for how Liquid have been able to get themselves to this position is utilizing those ultimates, converting them into round wins.
Whoa, okay.
And the opening picks have been pretty good as well by Yampy. That's a fantastic one. Obviously, my point being there that there's no ults on the board when it comes to overtime. But Yampy takes a step closer to his. Nivera gets the information. They drop back into more defensive positions.
Quick dash into the Cloudburst just to cut up any potential crossfires that were being held. The crosshair placement, obviously.
But look how weird the positioning is now from Team Liquid.
They don't know what to
and
do.
Scary's on the mad look.
And
Link
shut down.
catches him, wins the smoke 1v1.
What a find. What a player Link's been. so far this tournament. And now it's up to Surf, this rookie player. Again, the quick side step right around the corner. He catches Soulcast, and luckily the coverage is there at the back of the site. Cruz removing the Vera. Now we're down to the 3v3. 30 seconds were remaining, but they do get the spike down. Just have to try and hold these positions. Scream has a flash available, and Yampi is forced to retake this one with the Yob. He should be able to get a rifle. He's able to find a body. The jump peek! Pre-fight there from Surf. He gets taken out. Cruz holding it though, and now lane being pushed up. Both the players from Liquid, they've got the perfect positioning for it, and the spam link is so low. There's only so much he can truly do. It will take a miracle for him to try and win this one out. Time running low, the players, the repositioning. Sushi Boys has played this to perfection.
You would normally expect the veteran experience to win out, but
the fast play!
XERXIA have just looked unflappable. Cruz is there to respond, even after such a good opening.
This is going down though. Pops the wall, the utility to try and clear him out of this one, and they are losing players. The dart always tagged up. It's a disaster for them, man. XERXIA losing so many players, they try and hold it down, but it is the heroic Scary. He's done it before. Paranoia, it misses. Navira set up for it. This crosshair placement was great. Sushi Boys, it's a 1v3. They were not expecting the brisk takeover there of the main positioning.
It's a little bit like the round that XERXIA threw at them, actually, to try and deal with the double operator setup. But it works really nicely for both teams. Look from Team Liquid.
Yep, trying to punish this one. You can see them diving all the way in. Flash over the top! Sushi Boys, what? Spamming, sidestepping. Did not know where he was, but I think just blessed by God. Guided. How does he find that? And Yampi going down. This guy has been able to set so much up for them. I believe he was on 29 kills at the beginning of this round. 29 over the course of this map.
It's an amazing pick to get, just straight off the bat. And both times Liquid have tried to run that play, XERXIA have dealt with it pretty well. That one, sure. It happened.
A bit of RNG. I felt like Sushi Boys is always the one who's doing that as well. Bit of run and gun for a smoke with a Vandal.
Yeah, but he's also incredibly used to plays like that being made.
For sure.
Again,
yeah.
XERXIA plays against Paper Rex, and Paper Rex, that team is early round aggression. So they understand what you're doing if you throw those fast looks at them. And Liquid here have very little info. No eyes towards mid whatsoever. No alarm bot over there.
Now, the pace increases. Scream does manage to throw deep the nade just to try and disrupt it. He's holding close, gets huge value out of the knife. He spots all of the players, but eventually shut down. Link's still able to at least pop Cruz down. Takes him out, dash across to try and break this crosshair placement. They still need to deal with Link, and that is fantastic. Still, time is low. Only 12 seconds remaining. They need to win out on these players, and the spike needs to go to it.
Yeah, and Fox, the IGL, his utility has been fantastic on the Sova.
So here we go.
Looking for that Sage early on with the knife. Don't spot it, because Cruz is playing over towards B main. Recon's are broken in mid as well. And this looks like it's got some pace on it for Liquid.
The one-way setup, yep, here's the pace. Dash straight through. Yampi was supported with a flash into the back, and they need to be dealing with this one because he has been doing this consistently. Spamming right through the smoke. Disgusting plays right now. Sushi Boy's able to at least shut that one, but the team is in the site. Team Liquid, they've gained all the ground in the world off the back of that space that he's created. But Surf, he's trying to take the teak. Such a cheeky timing.
Spike planted.
Whips it around, finds it traded. And now Cruz, 1v2, whips it around.
The trick for Team Liquid, maybe not on the defense, as they go for a double op setup in OT, Brent.
What?
Double glass cannon operator. Navera can't even buy utility with this, really.
He's got an alarm bot, that's it. It's
no
just
nano swarms, none at all.
This has potential to backfire, but also XERXIA probably not going to be anticipating this whatsoever.
I don't think so. I think you can expect one. But I think it's pretty likely that Navera finds an opening here in B main.
All the way around.
It's such a gamble for them to go for.
And if they don't show discipline here, drone gets used. Fox, that's a wide swing. Tagged as well. They got to be aware of this now, surely. Shock dart to push them away. Surf just wants to try and take the angle, take the fight. And now you see the dash come through. The paranoia to supplement it all the way through. Yampi, he missed the shot, but luckily Soulcast still standing. Off onto the side. XERXIA trying everything at her disposal once more. Surf tries to swing it, but it's just mistimed, and no one can really take care of him still. Solkas will eventually fall. So much damage being done for them, and XERXIA being pushed to the limit. It's a 2v2. The paranoia connects. Scary with nowhere to go. He's being sandwiched. He had to use the smoke there. Caught using it in his hand. Fox has to play deep.
What a reposition. This could be the play. Oh, and he's just shut down!
Unreal. There
goes Link. What a punish. What are massively ahead in terms of kills. You know, actual kills on the board. Massively ahead. And XERXIA are still keeping it this tight. But this is the first time Team Liquid have advantage. 15-14. XERXIA cannot let this opportunity slip away from them. There are some dangerous teams still down in that lower bracket that would love a chance to take out XERXIA.
Flash deep. Just to try and disrupt this drone. Stop it from getting that info. And okay, a couple of the bullets landing. And one round. That's what stands between it. And look at this adaptation as well on the defense. And Nano Swarm onto the switch, knowing that obviously on the attack side, Yampi's been cutting up crosshair placement, usually playing on top of there. Slower and Paranoia now pulled out of XERXIA.
The idea here is to bait rotates, but they haven't bought it. XERXIA still have 3 players over by B.
And they have to shut down this push coming through. The Nano Swarms, they cut it up. 40 seconds left on the clock here for Team Liquid. They're looking to try and secure it. Seal the deal for XERXIA. Oh my, no one shoots the dart. The players once again lit up on lane. Link does his best. 2 kills for.
Just incredible.
So back into the action. XERXIA, yeah, you can see that jiggling around the corner because they don't want to make any mistakes, any mishaps. But this time the positioning has been altered. You can see this aggressive position up here on Cat from Yampi's. He's holding it with the op, and the Vera as well. Deep back there on the stairs on the site, but Yampi is the one who obviously we've got our eyes on.
And these are pretty different positions. They've been playing a tree a little bit, pushed up B main. Now Nevera's going to take his operator to a more classic angle. They break the turret as well. Is Link ready for this hit? Because it looks like it's coming towards A. No.
He's got the one-way set up.
Oh, they're going to have Fox fake again by the look of it too. They're going to try and throw a fake in round 31 against double operator.
Revealing area.
The plays on plays
Dart,
here.
drone, forces the paranoia out. This got shot down. And Yampi, I think he's got a good read of this one now. He can hear that there's no footsteps just stomping down through A main. He pushes deeper into mid to watch the cross up, and that dart is impeccable. The Vera gives him the perfect timing to be able to take the shot. Yampi as well finds it. Now just 3 players remaining here for XERXIA. Crews with the deep wall just try and work their way in, but how do they deal with it? These players just anchoring it, and Team Liquid too clean with him, man.
Crews in that round and is able to set up a nasty looking double peak. The pressure once more mounting upon XERXIA.
How far can this really go? Is this where Team Liquid seal it away? Secure that top seed out of their group. Make their way into the playoffs of all the other great teams at this tournament. Be a hell of a redemption for them. Second chance they were gifted of going to Reykjavík. And here's where they can really prove that they deserve to be here.
And for XERXIA, they let the #1 seed from APAC slip through their fingers. That was a 2-3 game against Paper Rex, where they had opportunities to win. They looked like the weaker team, but they cannot afford for these winnable moments to slip from them and escape their grasp. There's a lot of milling around going on at the moment over on the B site, and they've got the wrong read on what's happening. 3 players over by B. So much pressure on Scary and Sushi Boys.
If the knife connects onto Sushi Boys, he's not going to be able to pop his setup.
But he's pushed Yampi back. He was aware of it this time, and Yampi has not got that same chance.
Sushi Boys, he's been pressured so hard, has to hide. Right around the corner, and he gets the pick off. Ridiculous. Takes the head off Nevera, but the players are still working their way in. And Team Liquid, you can never count them out. Now the 3v3, the plan's starting to come through. Just about gets down, and they're spamming. They heard the updraft. They know that Yampi's playing on top of the generator. Clubber's popped up to try and create the one-way.
But they don't have a smoke to be able to cut off A main. So if they peek Yampi, they're peeking Soulcast too.
Slow wall, but Jenny pops around right side. You can see it now with the double swings.
They use the jet smokes to smoke off A main. Amazing utility by Surf in the midst of all of this.
Now it's a 2v2. Solkas, he hits the shot. It's all down to Fox. He knows where the player is. He's found one, but time is running so low. And it is not